So we would like to start Conversations from Home, Volume 4 today. So I see Bradley here. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So thank you so much for joining us today. We have special guests today from Kyoto in Japan, metal artist Shota Suzuki and Bradley Bailey from Houston. Ting, Tsung, and Fong, Chao, Curator of Asian Art, Museum of Fine Art, Houston. And first of all, we would like to go through a special rule for this event. Please keep your audio and video off during the event. And there will be a moment at the end of the conversation for a short Q&A session. Questions are always welcome in the public chat. So feel free to open your chat box and then type in anytime during the event. We would like to pick up some comments or questions. And then change your Zoom view to gallery view. And so you can find the button located at the top right of the screen. So be sure that the gallery view. So thank you so much for your time today. And then I would like to introduce Bradley again. But first of all, Shota and Bradley never met each other in person. However, I see some strong bond and connection between the two. Such a passion and love for Japanese art and koge and especially metalwork, Bradley. And then Shota's love from his childhood, of love of nature, love of metalwork. Today, I am very excited to share these two guests' sparks, almost like a metallic reaction happens together. So we'll see today. So hi, Bradley, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad. I'm excited. As you said, I've always liked Suzuki-san's work, and so I'm really excited to hear more about it. I find it so impressive in photographs, but in person, I think it's even more experience to see some of the pieces. So I'm really thank you very much for having me, because I'm very excited to be here and to be able to talk to Suzuki-san. So good afternoon to everybody. I guess Ohayou gozaimasu to Suzuki-san. It's very early.
Yes, so Suzuki Shota, he's waiting, but he's in Kyoto. It's 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and I'm sure Kyoto in the morning, it's still so summer, humid. It's very tsuyu. It's a rainy season for Japan, so we will see him later. And so before we would like to connect to Shota, I would like to introduce about Shota Suzuki's work. So Shota Suzuki is unusual artist in that his ambition is to recreate plants in metal. And Shota Suzuki was born in 1987 in Miyagi Prefecture. It's Tohoku region, so northeast Japan, where is completely different from where he's living in Kyoto. And Suzuki studied botany from childhood and the art of metalwork at university. His intensity and scholastic approach to a love of plants has resulted in an attention to detail in his pieces, so realistic that they blend in with real leaves and blooms. And Suzuki's metalworks capture the essence of nature just before the winds of change erase precious ephemeral moments. From the seeds of a dandelion about to float away on the breeze to the faint scent of the cherry blossom before it falls, the leaves of the ginkgo tree swept up in the first wind of winter. Suzuki's work has a breathless quality, capture moments of delicate yet tenacious life. Suzuki works from a studio situated amid the temples of Kyoto's Kaneicho in Higashiyama Ward, the former home of the foundries which produced temple bells. So it's a very traditional area he is now working for, creating metalworks, centuries in Japan. So I am going to wait to welcome him him in a studio waiting. But Bradley, do you have any comments so far from this?
Well, I love these. As I said, I love these pieces, and I'm eager to talk about how I see them. I see them fitting into a long tradition of a very close observation of nature in Japanese art, as well as a very masterful manipulation of material, to, especially in metalwork. As a Meiji specialist, I'm very obviously very drawn to pieces like this that show this real virtuosic use of different materials, especially materials in service of the imitation of other materials. And I admire botanical art from all across Asia and the world, everything from Lucknow paintings to the collages of someone like Mary Delaney, and Victorian works like even Darwin. But I think there's something very special and very Japanese in these pieces, in the way they not only capture a real close observation of nature, they also seem to capture a specific moment in time. As I've told you, I find them almost to be like material versions of a haiku, that they are seemingly, they're deceptively simple, but they really capture a specific moment in time, and they express something seasonal, and you can really build out an interpretation of something much more profound and of the larger world when you look at them, especially look at Japanese history, which is so revolved, not even just art history, but traditional Japanese daily life, which really revolves so strongly around the seasons and the changing seasons. I'm very eager to talk to Suzuki-san not only about these pieces, but to get his impression as someone, as an artist, on some historical works. And during lockdown, I've been doing a lot of gardening, so with mixed results. So I'm excited to talk about some plants that I can't kill.
Perhaps it's so different from where are you now in Houston. It's so hot. So it's going to be probably limited, but I'm sure that they are, you enjoy many nature sites in Houston. Almost like a moment is completely captured, and then we can even feel the wind. How you call this? Thrill?
Whistle?
Yeah, whistle. These his selections of the plants are completely like how should I say, not roses or lilies, but rather having more like a wild and humble plants, like on the streets, dandelions, or on the streets there is a violet. So delicate and then humble plants and seasonal leaves. And so this was the exhibition we had.
Exquisite.
It's exquisite. In 2017, it was a winter show. So we focused on those leaves and ginkgo leaves, and then drying leaves and acorns. Personally, I love acorns. Personally, since I was a child, I'm always collecting acorns, and even he gave me a little acorn pin. Today I wear his pin of the flower pin.
Oh wow!
So that winter show we featured those winter plants, and so here is the setup in Japan with tatami room. The nature side is now living in our houses. It's so unusual setup. It's gorgeous. So I would like to connect to Shota. Shota, how are you?
How are you?
So thank you so much for waking up early in the morning.
Yes.
Why don't you put the camera on and then
Okay, just a moment, please.
Sure. Well, I know Shota is a very night owl, so he perhaps does not sleep today. So he wake up from yesterday, and I think he hasn't slept him. Okay. Hi, Shota.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Hello. So let's see how he's walking today. Wow, the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you start how you walk every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. I'm Shota Suzuki.
Yeah, I know that. Okay.
I will show you
Mhm.
my work process.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Uh-huh. So he now warms up the base. We call a pitch ball, and the surface black part is the pine made of pine rosin, rosin. It's a traditional material for metal smith. He has now chisel and hammer. He creates now veins. He uses the copper as a base. The copper is becoming now lead. Mm. In fact, he has variety of chisels. Wow. By the way, can you imagine how many times he uses the hand to hammer it? But he said there is no pain anymore. Years ago, he had some pain here. But now he has the hand almost in part of his movement, so no pressure, just going. And then for the audience, if you like to see his screen larger, please his video if you want to see your screen. So you can click and see the screen so you can see his screen larger. Thank you. Now he makes the different lines of the veins. I think, Shota, I should stop here. Otherwise, you will continue forever. So thank you, Shota, for showing us a very precious scene. It's very, very important. Wow. 桜ですね、桜の葉っぱ。
そうです。
It's gonna
Cherry blossom.
cherry tree leaf. So, okay, so let's pass on to the dialogues to Bradley and then Shota.
Yeah, I also, when I want to say first that when we presented a Koge lecture at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston last year, we used one of the videos of Suzuki-san making a piece from start to finish. And I want to inform everybody that what we have seen, though it is, as Hollis has shared, amazing precision, it also requires an insane amount of patience, because even watching the video, many people, myself included, became a little fatigued because there are many steps this process. We have just come in at just making the veins on a copper leaf that has already been cut, but there is, you know, the cutting of the leaf and the hammering of the shaping of it, as well as multiple patination techniques, multiple ways of changing the color using various chemicals and acids to make copper take on the appearance of a cherry blossom leaf. So it's what we've seen. I am in awe of Suzuki-san's patience and dedication to be able to take one of these things from start to finish. And of course, that's just for one leaf. And as we've all seen, the pieces contain multiple leaves on a branch with blossoms and falling petals. So I guess my first question, I mean, Shoko, you mentioned that as a child, Suzuki-san you studied botany, and then later at university, of course, you learned metalwork. But I would be curious to know how you became so interested in such a traditional art form. Indeed, an art form that even predates the term
翔太先生ね。
はい。
まずその
fine art in Japanese. It's sort of geijutsu.
工程を見ただけでも、本当にこのどれほどの忍耐と技術が求められるかということがもう本当に想像を絶しているけれども、まず一つ目の質問としては、その子供の時に植物を勉強して植物が大好きだった。でそこからなぜその日本の伝統的な金工という世界にこう移ったのか、そこの話を聞きたいということですね。
はい。とですね、もともとその植物が好きだった理由は、詳しくはわからないんですけど、すごいいつも外に出て歩き回ったりしていましたね。
So when he was a child, he was born in Miyagi Prefecture, which is Tohoku, northeast Japan. But he always play with outside nature. So he enjoy nature. It's very natural for him to play in nature, running on the fields and then finding plants. That was very natural for his childhood.
あとは大きい理由の一つとしては、私の祖父がですね、おじいちゃんが庭にいろんな盆栽を持ってたんですね。大体300ぐらいはありました。
So when he was a child, he had his grandfather had bonsai. 300っておっしゃった
300
pots of bonsai. The grandfather had. Wow, that's.
あとはそうですね、果物の柿の木が庭にあったり、
There were trees of persimmons in the garden of his house.
あとはキウイフルーツがあってですね。
Kiwi fruits he likes to eat.
小さい庭なんですけど、すごい色とりどりでいろんな果樹があります。
Small garden, however, it gave many colors of nature, persimmons and bonsai and kiwi fruits, and so he was surrounded by those nature in his childhood.
そうですね。小さい時にはその庭がすごく大きく見えてですね、その記憶がすごく強くあります。
So in his memory, even that garden was small for him as a child. That garden was everything. The garden was the world.
それでその植物がすごく子供の頃から身近にあったんですけども、で大体高校生ぐらいの時にこのジュエリーの道に進みたいなっていう思いが芽生えたんです。
When he was high school, he became interested in making jewelry. He was first fascinated by the jewelry world.
で、そのジュエリーが好きになった理由もすごく過去を遡ると、だいたい幼稚園児ぐらいの時にですね、お母さんと一緒にデパートに行った時に、ジュエリー売り場にすごい魅力を持ったっていう経験があります。
Very child, like a kindergarten, he was with his mother, went to the department store in Japan, which we call depato. he always liked to see the jewelry section in the department store. It's interesting. You were as a little boy. Mm.
で、子供の頃のその興味があったのが、おもちゃ売り場ではなくジュエリー売り場っていうちっちゃい子供なんです。
So usually the boy should like the toys, but he was not interested in toys, but he goes to the women's jewelry area to enjoy the jewelry. That's very rare.
I understand that.
わかりますね。ブラッド。
いやいや、はい。絶対。
で、その横に後ろにあるのは全部着物だから、自分も着るものが好きだから、ブラドリーも共感し
It
ます。
looks like I'm broadcasting from a Showa lady's closet, but it's just my house.
Welcome to your closet. Yes. So then, Shota, why then you became more from jewelry to metal work? Why is that?
はい。それで大学に進んで金属を、まあ、ジュエリーを作りたいがために大学に進んだんですけど、そこで金属の勉強をしだすんですね。
He majored metal because of the jewelry. However, he encountered the material of metal, which fascinates him.
で、そこで学ぶのは、まあ、ジュエリーだけじゃなくて、その専門的な金属の伝統工芸の世界を初めて知ったんです。それですごい興味を持ちました。
You realize that the amazing world of metal work, metal sculpture, metal ornaments, metal work. それは日本のメタルですか？それとも世界の？
そうです。日本の
Japanese metal work. He was first inspired.
So with that training at university, was it based around objects like this that are sculptural, or was it very traditional and you were making things like koro and other kind of more traditional Japanese forms? I mean, these are kind of like hokimono, but I'd be curious to know about the training itself.
大学でメタルを勉強したときはそういう日本の伝統的なものを見る機会があったんですか？あるいは例えばコーラルとかサンゴを使ったりするような日本的なものを見てたんですか？それとももっと金属全般の勉強をしたんですかっていう質問。
そうですね。全般的に金属も勉強しましたし、他の工芸も一通り勉強しましたね。
So he studied both the general metal work in the world and also Japanese koge, the traditional Japanese metal work, same time.
はい、で、それで金属の伝統技術を学ぶことによって、そこにすごい興味を持ち出しまして、あとはその金属を叩く食感ですね。ハンマリングであったり、チェイシングとハンマリングの感触がすごい自分の中で楽しかったっていうのが一番の影響です。
He enjoyed a lot of this experience and then sensations while he's hammering, chiseling. That sensation was very natural to him, and he really enjoyed that physical approach towards the metal.
あとはカラーリングですね。色の付け方とか、やっぱり金属っていうのはピカピカしていて、グレーかブラックとかホワイトとか、そういうその暗いものしかないと思ってたんですけど、実はすごい明るくて、いろいろな色がその技術によって、特に日本の伝統技術によって着色法によって出すことができるっていう発見があったことにすごい興味を持ちました。
And also he was very amazed and discovered that the limitless colors the metal can create, not just silver or black or gold, but it's more like you can make vivid colors out of the chemical reactions. And then, so he was also fascinated by the possibility of colorings too in the metal.
それでまあ大学の中ではいろいろとハンマリングを中心にやったり、ジュエリーを作ってみたり、いろいろするんですけど、最終的にこう自分の個性を出すときに自分が好きだった一番好きな植物っていう対象を改めてこの大学で好きになった金属っていうものを使ってミックスして好きなもの同士を合わせて作ったらどうかなという思いで作りました。
So his love of metal and then the love for the plants all married together, and then he wanted to create something out of his two passions, metal and plants.
これが
Yeah, but Tsung became a curator. It was art history and cocktail parties. So did you have to study chemistry as well? Like or are you using established irogane techniques?
そのやっぱり化学的な化学も勉強したんですかって、そのケミカルリアその化学反応とかそういった。
そうですね。もともと技法書があって、そのやり方通りに進めて、そこから自分なりのアレンジを加えたりしていますね。
Yes, so he studied a variety of chemicals and also traditional technique, but also, as you see, he has also very unique material, the methods towards metal, which he invented, and he try and error and then always challenged a new method. For example, the dandelions work, he invented the technique.
So for something like the sakura branch, parts of it are hammered and sculpted, and other parts cast, like the branch itself.
花びらのところはわかるんですけど、桜の例えば枝の部分はどうですかって。
枝の部分は金属の棒ですね。棒をひたすらに叩いて削り出して、であとは溶接ですね。溶接、ロー付け、ソルダリングをしてくっつけて、でさらにまた削り出して叩いて、それを繰り返して。
So, Miri, can you show us the cherry blossom branches and flowers together? So what he answered is that as for the branches of the cherry tree, he first starts from the solid metal bar, and he sculpts and then graving and then soldering, and so he applies the many things to the solid metal parts. So the images of the cherry tree in the first, yes,
wow.
Yes, so that's wow.
So there's soldering and sculpting, and it's not cast.
And now Shota is now handing his recent piece of the cherry branch.
Oh wow. Yes, I think one of the most interesting things about these works is when you actually do pick them up, because your eye is really fooled into thinking it's an actual plant, and then when you pick it up and it's a stiff piece of metal, it's really an extraordinary experience.
Extraordinary experience, absolutely.
So with regards to the plants, I'm sure many of our attendees know that the vast, the lion's share of decorative plants that are all over the world now, most of them actually come from Japan. So you have many Japanese plants to select from, but how does he spoke a little bit about his garden growing, but how does he decide the plants to render in metal? Because it seems that he selects a lot of very traditional, very symbolic Japanese plants like ginkgo and blossoms, for example. Also things like dandelion, which we have a slide later, but do appear in older Japanese art.
So その作品になっていく植物っていうのはどういうふうにして選んでいくんですか？これだけいっぱい植物がある中で。
基本的には自分が散歩したり旅をしたり日常の買い物をしたりですね、そういう日常的に目にする植物が中心になっています。
So he really appreciate and then enjoy the very humble plants, daily plants, not in the flower store, but on the street, on the corner of your neighborhood, or on the park you often go. So
that you see walking around.
Yeah, so 歩いてる時に見つかるようなそういったものにこう発見する面白さというか美しさを見出してるってことですよね。
そうですね。もともと子供の頃から下向いて歩く子供だったので、そういう時に気になってる。
When he was little, he always walked not to see the look far, but he looked down to find the little things on the streets since he was little.
That's amazing. Well, I hope that one day we can invite you to Houston, because just walking, I'll show you, I selected some plants later that are the most common kind of things you see walking around. And I have to tell you, because it's like a tropical climate, even our common plants are wild.
いつかヒューストンにも案内して、ヒューストンは、すごくトロピカル、南国のような植物が多いけれども、すごく気候が高いので、いろんな珍しい植物が見れるから、ぜひ案内したいですっていうふうに言ってくださってます。
そうですね、ぜひ行ってみたいですね。
Would like that very much. Yeah, I would like to know then, how do you see your art fitting into Japanese tradition? Because I've been working on putting together a Meiji show, and as I told Shoko, your art, many of your pieces would fit in beautifully. You're just 100 and something years too young. So how do you see your art relative to maybe not even just Japanese art, but other of botanical art and metalwork?
今自分は明治のテーマで展覧会を計画しているけれども、本当は翔太先生が明治生まれだったら入れたいけども、あなたは若すぎるけども自分としてはその作家として他の芸術にも、あるいは日本のある時代のものとか、あるいは他の芸術全般、やっぱり興味を持って見ることがあるんですかっていう質問ですね。
そうですね。あと巡りとかそういうものはいろいろと見ますね。現代美術も見ますし、工芸も彫刻も絵画も一通り見て回ってます。
He loves going to museums and see variety of art world, painting, sculpture, contemporary art, any kinds of art he really like to see and enjoy.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, I think I would love to know as well what he's currently working on then.
今その作ってるものはどんなものですかっていうことなんですけども。
今作っているものはちょうど終わってですね、つい最近綿毛のタンポポを作り終わったところです。
He recently actually just completed dandelions. He finished, and then maybe I want to ask something about dandelion because so dandelion, this shall I call fluff of dandelion maybe? We have a term for this, watage, which is so sweet. It's like a cotton fur. We call for this term, we have cotton fur. But anyway, this has a fluff, and then this is made of metal, and this little each he uses new silver, and the bottom part he uses copper, and then how meticulous, intricate work, and even this capture the moment of the wind almost blowing. そう、翔太先生、この綿毛の話でなんでこういう構想を得たか、どういう思いでこのシリーズが生まれたか。
そうですね、もともと花の状態のタンポポは好きでずっと作っていたんですけども、やっぱり作品のモーメントを作りたくって、で、花の状態とその後の種になった状態も形にしたいなと思ってたんですね。
He really personally loves dandelion. Dandelion is the flower of resilience and patience, and they can grow from anywhere, even between the streets and concrete, they can grow and very tough. So he loved this energy of the dandelion itself. But when he wanted to capture and express the moment, he wanted to use the element of wind. So then this watage, the fluff of dandelion series, became his inspiration.
それでずっと作り方を考えていたんですけど、全然この ふわふわした状態のが思い浮かばなかったんですね。でもある時、他の作品を作った時にした大失敗のおかげで作り方が分かった。
Actually, he wanted to really realize this, how he can make, he was very, very struggling and many failures, but one day he had a big mistake that actually became and turned out a success of his idea. And that mistake made him make this technique. And then unfortunately, I asked him, but this technique is still in secret. まだ質問、秘密ですよね。Yeah, this is too precious to open this technique yet, but.
No, good for you. I mean, I think they're extraordinary because they capture time on two different levels. They capture kind of a seasonal time just based on the plant that they are and where they are in the growth cycle, but then they capture a kind of shorter term, almost photographic time in that you're freezing this instant of the fluff flying away.
この瞬間を本当に閉じ込めていて、やっぱりそれはもう写真家というぐらいの瞬間芸術だと思いますと。
ありがとうございます。これが実物ですね。
Oh, so if you audience want to see his screen larger, you can find the right corner of his screen, pin it. So then his screen is bigger here. Let me see it.
で、なぜこういう作品を、作っているかっていうのをお話ししたいんですけども。
翔太、その前にこの作品をもう自分側に寄せてもらっていいですか？もうちょっと、OK、great。OK、じゃあ、そのいきさつを話してください、その思いを。
そうですね。もともとはそのきっかけとしては好きなもの同士を掛け合わせて、で、面白いものを作りたいっていう動機から始まったんですけども。
He actually has a original motivation was love of plant and love of metal. However,
で、植物が好きだっていうのは自分の中でも分かるんですけど、どういう状態が好きかっていうことを考えたときに、プランツ単体ではなく、プランツがある景色を含めて、生きている状態っていうのがすごい好きだっていうことがすごい分かった。
More he walks and more he observes and then the plants and nature, he realized that the plant never exists without surrounded scenery. The plant lives in nature, plant lives in the moment and space. So he wants even capture the whole scenery surrounded by the one piece of plant.
なので私は花屋には行かないですね。子供の頃から興味がないです。
That's why he's not interested in going to flower shop because the flower shop it's just for sale, commercial, cut in the bucket, and it's not natural.
とても不自然な状態だとずっと思っていて、そこからショップから出て外に出れば小さい花々や草花が生きている状態、自然の状態、美しい状態がすぐそこにあるじゃないかって思ってた。
So for the nature, the plants in the flower shop, it's all dead and then unnatural. But once you go outside of the flower shop, you can even find even more flowers on the streets, on the trees, on the sideways. You can find anytime, even in the city, like we are in New York, but yes, that's true. We can find plants everywhere.
それでこういう作品を作ってですね、私のそういう考えは稀なのかもしれないですけど、多くの人に日常に美しい植物、景色っていうのが潜んでいるっていうことに改めて目を向けてもらいたいなと思って。
He wants to spotlight for that corner of the street, that daily life, ordinary life, you can still find something alive, something beautiful. on the street where you walk. So that's the discovery, and then that's what he wants to express through his metal.
そう、その見た人たちの意識と今まで見ていた景色からなんだろう、新しい景色もにしてしまいたいと思って。
So he's not making a one piece of metal work, but he wants to make the surrounded space as well, surrounded moment, and then even capture the moment and space. That's his now dream to make it.
That's why, yes, I felt it was like a haiku, you know, where just a small thing that expresses a larger.
だからそれはすごく自分としては俳句のようですと。そのポエティック俳句、例えばそのちょっとした言葉なんだ五七五の中に全てが言い尽くされているというか、その空気感までがそこにも潜んでるっていうのは俳句に近いんじゃないですかっていうことで。That's very interesting point. I like that. Thank you.
I think it would be great for everyone to know, though, since in my opinion, these pieces require a lot of work and they use the finest materials, and they are still very, very, very affordable. I would love to know, you know, if he could express to us how long he spent on each piece, because I think that would help people understand how reasonable they are. Yeah.
ありがちな質問かもしれないけれども、この作品にかける一つにつきの時間っていうのはどれぐらいのものなんですかっていう質問なんですが。
ものによって違いますが、これは1ヶ月かかります。
For example, dandelion takes 1 month.
Yeah, that's why I thought it's not G-Con, it's Kagetskan.
がかかります。Very good. Yes. Then,
Before, yeah.
speaking of Jikan, the time, Bradley, I would like you to talk about why the Japanese koge has this wabi-sabi and then even the decay, and then we even appreciate the rusty decay, and then so because Shota's work always capture the insect's bite or the almost dying leaves. 先生、今時間の話になったので聞いてると、結局その日本の工芸っていうところでそのわびさびと言われるようにその錆びたりとか枯れたりっていうことを良しとするという、世界観があるっていうことについてブラドリーはどう考えるか、そして翔太先生はどう考えるか。
Well, I think it would be useful maybe then to look at some of the historic works that I sent you, because I would love to hear Suzuki-san's opinion about them and about maybe about how they relate to his work, but also how he himself might make them. Not so much in this. I selected this pair of Kaji no Genzan screens, but if we go to the next slide, which is a detail, this is kind of a more traditional way of expressing the seasons. But even within this work, there is they reminded me of his work because you read them from right to left, and of course you slowly progress through the seasons, and this sort of looks like summer, I believe, kind of late summer, with the coxcomb and the sunflowers. But I wanted to show this kind of tradition of close observation of nature in Japanese art. But I think the next slide might be the one that I really love. Yes, so I chose this Hayashi Kadenji from Orientations Gallery. View at the museum as part of our cloisonné show, because it is technically a piece of metalwork. But I'd love to hear Suzuki-san's thoughts on it, because it reminded me a lot of his work in that it's a beautiful flower in transition, but if you look closely, you'll also notice that some of the leaves, for example, are wilting or have been eaten.
やっぱりこの今見せたような伝統的な作品の中にも、日本のその虫に食われた葉っぱだとか、この尻尾焼きの部分でもこの色の枯れていく表情とか、やっぱりそういうものが日本の美術にもよくあって、翔太先生はそれに関してどういう印象というか感性を持ってますか？
日本のその美術っていうのは、その一番綺麗だった瞬間を切り取るわけではなく、そこからの前後関係も含めて、その一つの作品の中に落とし込んでいると思うので、やっぱりその時間っていう概念をもう一つのものに閉じ込めようとしてるんじゃないかと思います。
So he appreciates Japanese art and then tradition and also aesthetics is that Japanese has a very particular time access, time base in the art. Sometimes we are not necessarily interested in freeze the moment of the most beautiful youth, the body of the Western figure or the sculpture, but rather have a wabi-sabi or decaying or aging. We appreciate that, we value that. So Shota sees this, says 4次元という言葉も昨日あったようなことでしたよね。
そうです。4次元的であると考えます。
So we appreciate Japanese koge and then bijutsu, the art is more like a 4 dimensions, not even 3-dimensional work, but 4 dimensions, which includes time in the art, even the ceramic work, even the metal work. We appreciate the decay. We use a lot. We change the color, which is okay. So that's the I think aspect we want to really feature and appreciate in this.
Amazing. Oh, sorry, go on.
どうぞ。
で、その時間っていうところが、私の作品もすごく大事になってるんですけど、やっぱりその時間は目に見えないので、人それぞれスピードとか、多分リズムは違うと思うんですよ。そこも、そこを楽しむっていうのも、一つのその大事な要素なんじゃないかと思います。
So he appreciates this element a lot, especially in this metal work. He can use this material, very strong metal medium. He can capture this weathering and getting old, and it's very interesting challenge for him to realize that moment with the most strongest material. With the strongest material, but realize the most ephemeral moment. That's a contrast he enjoys.
その考える要素を与えるっていうのは、その日本でいう余白の美っていうのがあると思うんですけど、こういう時間的な流れの美しさを落とし込むっていうのも、その余白の美の違う形かなと思います。
So, Bradley, I need your help, but when you say yohaku, it's a space, should I translate? Yohaku means like a space behind.
Yeah.
So, somehow Japanese art can be very not adding, but rather subtractive approach, cut, and many minimalistic, and then even let the space talks and lets the room to speak.
Yeah, like negative space.
Negative space. So negative space.
That's wonderful. I think the next few slides I think are a metalwork. Oh, I chose this wonderful Shibata Zeshin tea screen. That's a recent gift from Kurt and Alice Gitter to the Museum of Fine Arts. I selected because I think it resonated very strongly with Suzuki-san's work, especially the dandelions.
タンポポがこのゼシンの作品の中にありまして、これは美術館にコレクションされているものだけど、こういうものを風景を思い出してますって。
And the real tradition of not necessarily the most spectacular or flower shop flowers, but real flowers you observe by the riverbank in this case.
It's very delicate, very nice.
But I think before we open up to questions, we could scroll ahead and I wanted to just show Suzuki-san some Texas plants. This is a piece that's at the museum, and I wanted to ask him how he might make it, but I think it's cast, so it's a little bit different. It's also not a plant.
まあこれはキャストでできてますから、鋳型でできてますから全然違うけれども、こういった金属の作品に関してはどんな印象を持ってますかって。
そうですね、こういう明治の工芸的、工芸はすごくリアリスティックで、 てすごく技巧的で、さらにその昔の色付けの方法の2色っていうのを使っててすごく美しいなと思いますね。
So in the Meiji period, especially in this metal part work, it's very particular and peculiar that the realism is very involved in that time. So which he is very fascinated.
Yeah, but I think the next, so in Houston, some of the plants that are common here are things.
で親しみのあるこの花っていうのはこんな感じですっていうことをちょっと今日はちょっと見せたいんだって。
Azalea, which is our azaleas in Japan, but this is one of our most common plants in March and April. What's
物に生えてる花じゃないじゃん。買ってくる花じゃん。
This is a tsutsuji.
And this is called Desert Rose, which is I took this photo especially because the petal had fallen off. It's sideways, but this is technically a kind of succulent or cactus, and you can see behind it some of the weird cacti that we grow here in Houston. So I'd love to have Suzuki-san come and.
This is cactus?
Yes.
サボテンだそうです、これは。
そうなんですか。
Such a
かわ
color.
いいですね。
Such a very, very tropical color. I never seen that.
Yes. It's because it's so hot here. And I believe the next one is, this is my backyard, so sorry for this bad photo. We'll find lots of hibiscus, which you see a lot in Korea. I chose this one because because I think that it would be inspirational for Suzuki-san because they bloom very briefly. These very large flowers open very briefly, and then you find on the vine you see here on the same plant, you find dead blooms.
In Japan, we can find those flowers in Okinawa or south side.
Yeah, and finally, I think we have our oak, which is just everywhere. So it's oak trees, but if you go to the next slide, you can see how large the trees are there.
The oak tree がよくある木だそうです。
So a little bit bigger than the childhood bonsai, but I think finally we do have a tradition in Texas of the painter. Actually, I think the next work might be from the Museum of Fine Arts. No, this is a painting by Julian Onderdonk from the Museum of Fine Arts. It's both cactus and bluebonnets, which are perhaps the most classic. And I think I included an actual photo of a bluebonnet on the next slide.
ではこのブルーボンっていう花が一番こうシンボリックというか、the blue color is very interesting. Shota, is it difficult the blue color in the metal? 青は難しいんですか、メタルでは。
So difficult ですね。
Very difficult. Uses English, so difficult. Okay.
We'll make sure that whoever commissions one will know. Oh, it's a very bad photo. I apologize, but they grow everywhere. And then the last work might be a piece from the sculpture garden at Houston, or maybe didn't get included, but that's all right. We have a piece by Linda Ridgway of a wisteria vine in our sculpture garden. So we would love to have you come, and I think looking at the participants in the chat, we have many of our Houston patrons here. So I would love to, if you're okay with it, Shoko, that maybe we could field some questions if we have time.
That's a great idea. So today we have many audiences from everywhere, from Japan, from Houston, from New York, from Chicago. I see many people. So audience, please feel free to on the audio, and then even you can show your face, click the camera video on. And so, hi, Ellen.
Hi, Shoko. So Bradley and you both know that I grow and love orchids. And in Japan, I have seen many huge phalaenopsis in the flower store. That's not the kind of orchid I'm talking about. Talking about more unusual orchids, wild orchids, orchids that grow on trees, and very delicate looking ones. Shoto, have you ever thought of making an orchid?
エレンはヒューストンでいらっしゃいますけども、とりわけランの花が好きで、 自分で育てるぐらいランが好きだそうです。何かそういうランは作ったことがありますかっていう質問なんですけども。
ランは作ったことがないですね。あんまり日常的にランは日本では見かけないので、
He
むし
hasn't
ろなんか、
tried yet, Ellen, but first of all, in Japan, we call lan for orchids. It's not easy to find locally. It's special flower, so he hasn't done that yet.
Ah,
Yeah. Mhm.
Maybe-
How are your orchids so far this year?
I can send some pictures. They are quite magnificent. But maybe on Okinawa or in some of the more warmer climates, more tropical areas of Japan, you might find some of them. And then, of course, they grow on trees. So the epiphytes, so there are some unusual ones there too.
That's right. So 日本でもそういう南国のがあるのかなって思ってますけどもっていう話だ。And then how about I see some faces. Hi, Hollis. I always ask you, Hollis, how are you in Los Angeles? The microphone,
Yeah. It's cool here, which is wonderful. And I took a lot of pictures just recently when we had our poppy bloom. And I should send those to Shota San because
彼女はロサンゼルスで何かこう皆さんインスパイアされてそれぞれ自分の好きな花の写真を翔太に送りたいって言ってる人が出てきています。ホリスはロサンゼルスなので。So what did you say, Hollis? What's flower again?
poppies.
Poppies.
Yeah, so they're orange and small. They're all native plants
I love poppies.
near the desert.
ポピーだからなんていうのかな、ケシの花っていうかしら。やっぱり、ちょっと紙みたいなああいう表情ですよね、花びらがね。
もうオレンジです。すごいポタト。オレンジな色。
オレンジ。
Yeah, so I didn't understand what school Suzuki-san went to.
What is your question again?
Which school?
Or which
Suzuki-san.
先生のそのメタルを勉強した大学は、というか学校はどこでしたっけって。
山形県にある東北芸術工科大学。
東北、University of
Art and Design.
Art and Design in Tohoku, where he was near from his hometown.
And what were the metal specialties of his professor there?
先生が直についた先生は金属の中でもどういう専門だったんですかって。
先生
その方はテーブルウェアを専門としています。クラフトです。
More like a craft and product. Tableware. So more like a functioning metal. He studied.
I got it.
Teacher was doing.
So is there any, I keep asking questions, sorry, but was there any background for metalworking in Tohoku, like for sword fittings?
You said that 刀の鞘ですか？その東北だとその刀だとか鞘だとかっていうやっぱり金属の伝統があるんですかって東北は。
そうです。秋田県にもありますし、まあ直接は見ませんでしたけど。
Not directly contacted with those areas when he was in Tohoku, but certainly there is some historical background making metal in Tohoku. Currently, he's living in Kyoto, so he's more now familiar with, I think, the current Kyoto, I think.
And has he personally studied haiku?
So 俳句を読みますか？面白い。
俳句は読まないですね。
No, no, not yet. How about you, Hollis and Bradley? Are you?
I had to write some for a class when I was at Kyushu Daigaku. I had to write some haiku, and they were terrible. So
I usually write haiku about things like ice cream.
アイスクリームについての俳句を作ったことがあるし、ブラドリーは九州大学に行った時に俳句を読んだけども、それひどかったって。It's almost hard for English speaker to use Japanese term, and it's even Japanese. It's almost like a miracle to make those puzzle of the word. It's out. Yeah, I love that. I cannot. I talk too much and I cannot minimize the word. So, yeah.
Shoko.
So how about other questions?
Shoko.
Hi.
Hi. So Ron and I had two questions. Does Suzuki-san work on more than one piece at once? And also, how about care and conservation of the works when they're done?
実際一つの作品を作ってるときに、一つだけですか、それともパラレルに何個も作りますかって。
最初はバラバラに並行して何個か作っていくんですけど、途中からはもう一つに専念して完成まで進めます。
I see. So he works parallelly for parts by parts, like this parts goes this parts go this. However, when it is going to be almost finalizing, he really want to concentrate on one piece. So parts by parts, like a leaf, petal, he can do that parallelly, but once he's working on the piece, he wants to concentrate on one piece. And I see Felice from Philadelphia.
Oh, well, actually, Mina had the second part of her question was about care for the piece.
Oh, care.
So I assume don't touch it with your bare hands too much. I think it's probably...
ケアについて、手油がつかないように作品をこう触れてはいけないとか、どういうふうにして保管というか保存をしますかっていう質問。
表面的にはコーティング、クリアコーティングをしてるんですが、直接このサビがついているところは手に触っていいと思ってます。
The surface he uses coating material, so you don't have to worry too much. And then he can touch by himself on the part of the rust part, so it's already chemically, made it. But for me, I know I handled his work. His wooden box is another part of art. Like Bradley, remember when we close the box to the dandelion, it's really seal. And then,発泡スチロールでこうやって切り箱 is the art. So, so I see. I want to connect Felice Fisher. Do you hear?
Hello.
Hi, Felice. So.
Yeah, thank you very much, Suzuki Sensei, for your wonderful explanation of your work. And it is really amazing to see how you can capture the ephemeral in the eternal material of metal. I think, judging from everyone's comments, you need to come to the United States to get some more inspiration for other flower creations.
彼女はフィラデルフィアですけども、やはりぜひね、アメリカに来てね、いろんな植物を見てほしいですっていうメッセージ。So in Philadelphia, what kind of plants is symbolic in Philadelphia? Do you have any Philadelphia flowers, plants?
Well, my garden also is very profuse with dandelions. So Sensei will feel right at home.
は実際タンポポがすごく咲きます。Actually, Shota was staying in New York for winter time when we had his solo show in 2017. And then Shota 先生何日ぐらいニューヨークにいましたっけ
16日間ですね。
15 days he was in New York and he really enjoyed, but it was more experience with arts and then not nature side, but more arts and concrete jungle in New York City. So, but next time I want to bring him in a botanical garden. We have a wonderful place to visit, and Central Park is amazing. So I think the time is now running out. But Bradley, do you have any, not summarize, but if you have any messages or comments or impressions, why don't you share again?
Oh, I think that I mean, I love the way Felice just put it of capturing the ephemeral in the eternal, and I think that it's wonderful to see someone still practicing highly refined and very Japanese art form that I personally love the historical works, and this is the exact same way I feel about many of the artists you represent, Shoko. It's wonderful to be able to speak to someone who still practices these incredible, who still has the patience to practice these incredible art forms. And I hope that, as everyone seems to agree with me, I hope that we can have Suzuki-san back to the United States and for, you know, kind of a Hiroshi Yoshida, Takeuchi Seiho style regional see some more of the American landscape, because I would love to see what he can do, and I'm very, very impressed by his work, and I hope that people will go to your site to watch more of the videos, because when you realize how much care and dedication and observation goes into each piece, they're really, really extraordinary. And I didn't know that they were coated with clear coating, so you could just pick them up, which is, please come and spray down our hawk, because that would make life much easier at Houston. But I think it's fantastic, and I really hope that once things return to a greater degree of normalcy, that we'll be able to inspire Suzuki-san more, because I think what he is doing is really incredible, and I hope that everybody comes away today understanding a little bit more about the high level of skill and dedication behind this incredible art form.
Thank you, brother. That's beautiful. I would like to conclude with our current project we are working to make our Ippodo Gallery's website launching very more for visual oriented, and then Shota Suzuki page we have now showing his concept, and also some works, his recent pieces or from his pieces from 2017-18, and so I am happy to answer to any questions if you have. And then today I'm going to close this conversation, volume 4, but I want to be able to travel back to Japan and then hug Shota. And no, I'm tired of this wearing a mask and without taking a touch and everything, but I really miss Japan. I really miss of our artists, and this is very difficult time for everybody, but I think we can stay so focused and be courageous to make beauty every day. Like artists make beauty, like a doctor makes a vaccine, we can make art, beauty. Everybody can make a beauty, and so let's be hopeful and be courageous, and then stay together, take care of each other, and then I am so grateful for everybody's support and then passion for us. Thank you so much. So Shota, you can take a sleep.
Thank you. Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks to everyone.
Talk to you later.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
失礼します。
Yes, I'm happy to see all the faces. Thank you so much.
And Suzuki-san is open to commissions, I assume.
先生は注文作品は受け付けますかって、そのコミッションワークは。
受け付けます。
He's happy. Yeah, easy answer. Yes, he.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, so
Bye.
much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.